Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Black Wallet Zen, a place we are simply on a journey to building a generational legacy. If this is your very first time watching these videos, I guarantee you value for your time. I basically get to share my journey to building a generational legacy with regards to business, career, anything related to personal development and skill. So make sure you subscribe. Starting a new business can be quite exciting, but with time, if you're not well prepared, it can be quite depressing. Today, I'm happy to announce one of my business ventures in renewable energy with Nane, a joint venture between Zambia and China. From the many business ventures I have done, I think I've mentioned and I've shared my journey of at least 21 failed businesses, some of which were stepping stone to another business. I feel that with this new project, which is renewable energy, it's been a different strategy and approach to starting up this business. And I find that the concept or the content or the process of us finally starting it has really been helpful. And I thought sharing this video would be helpful to you as well. So first things first, getting started on this project was consulting a mentor. And if you're planning on starting a business 2025, it's always important you have a sit down with someone. You're going to avoid making certain decisions that will cause a huge mistake as you go ahead, be it the capital, the initial investment, maybe the decision of the products that you have to buy. As long as you have a mentor who is in the industry that you want to enter in, trust me, you have an advantage in you starting that business. You have an advantage with the choice of product. You have an advantage in the network, and you have an advantage into growth, personal growth and your business growth. So it's very important you consider talking to a business consultant or a coach, particular who has experience in the field that you want to venture in. My case, I had my supervisor who's already working in the renewable energy field. So when I pitched the business or when we had a conversation about renewable energy, it was easy because he had the technical knowledge, I had the market knowledge. So together, it was easy to navigate the process of how best we can start the business, what products we can start with, and it did take time. So I advise if your goal is to start any business, don't take it lightly. Consult someone, speak to someone, especially for a new industry. For me, it was important to have conversations and consultancy with people who have experience in that field. However, be open minded to learn from any expert as an entrepreneur because I believe they have a vast knowledge. Especially in making profits, because overall, that's the goal of your business. Overall, it's to scale your business and also to ensure that your business is sustainable. So, getting that knowledge, getting that information is definitely going to guide you and help you have an oversight of some of the mistakes you could have made or some of the mistakes they might have made, which will be a stepping stone for your success. So consider consultation and mentorship. Very important. The second thing actually is a market research. With this product, we took almost a year understanding the market in Zambia, understanding what renewable energy products we should begin with. And trust me, it's not something that was enjoyable because I'm spending 2, 3 hours every single day doing research, meetings back to back, trying to understand the market. I have to give feedback. I have to give presentations on the product. It wasn't something that I personally enjoyed, but overall, I realized it was necessary because I know the target audience. I know the market available in Zambia. Comparing the electricity capacity in China, which is about 99%, Zambia only has like 37% access to energy, access to electricity, and much of it is coming from the urban cities like Lusaka. What about places in Serenge, Mkushi? Comparing the percentage of access to electricity with China, you're already aware there's an opportunity. 99% to 37% means there's room for innovation, there's room for selling these products. So, having an understanding of your market, well incited, well researched, is very necessary. And a tip on that, on how I went about this project, would be really to rely on survey, to rely on resources available online, and just to take your own Q&A from people, understanding what are their needs, what is it that they would like to be powered with, and just not focus in the region you are in. You want to understand the market, so you should be open to different cities as well, so that you get a deeper insight. Maybe the product might not even take off in the city you are in. Maybe your services might not take off in the city you are in. But as long as you are open to looking for opportunities for your service and your product, you should be able to do a well insightful research. You should be able to analyze how your product will penetrate through the market. That part of market research is understanding who your competitors are. What is it that they are doing better? What is it that they are not doing well in, that you can leverage on and build your brand or your business on? So take your time, do your research, do your survey, do interviews, do a lot of Google documents, which becomes easy for you to collect data. Build your business on the need in the market as opposed to what you really want. When we started, what I was looking for was the inverter, what I was looking for was the batteries. But through the research, I understood that there's need for SMEs to have basic lighting in their shops. There's need for a home to have really like basic power that's portable, that they can use on their computers, they can use also for their devices. So not until you do your research, then will you be able to know and understand the needs of your market and not what you feel you need to sell. That's very important. Last but not the least, through your market research, you also want to understand the current trends. You're not bringing you're not bringing ideas that have already been established or already saturated. It's very important that you understand what is trending and maybe what is trending in terms of opportunities available. We've had load shedding issues here in Zambia since last year. From maybe 3 hours of access to electricity to absolutely no electricity, and you realize there's a gap in that area. So if I'm to bring something in that market, what is it that people are already doing? What is it that other businesses are already doing that will make me stand out? That will make us as SMEs stand out or as startups. So that is very key and important. Before you get started, understand your market. Understand who is your target audience. Who are the people who are going to buy your products? What's their income? What's their age? Where are you going to find them? I find that, like I said, unlike most of the businesses that I've started, I start them out of my passion, out of seeing there's a need for them. But then with this one, it's quite deep, if I may say. It's quite deep. Like the pursuit of it, the patience, the determination, the research that went into it is one that I would really encourage I would really encourage you to pursue as you get started. Sometimes we want to start immediately. You feel you have the idea, you want to get started. But then if you have the information, you have the data, you have even the resources, you know where you're going to get started from, you have to pursue it. But that should not be the case without understanding your market, because you would be frustrated. You would be all over the place because it's a product that doesn't even meet the target audience you thought would be able to reach. So do your market analysis very well. Once you understand your market, that is, who is your target audience, you then want to understand the technical aspect of your business, the industry you want to venture in. The first question you need to ask yourself is, what problem am I solving? How many renewable energy companies are already in existence? If I should penetrate through the market, what is it that they are not doing that I can do? Sometimes we start a business with a faith that money will come afterwards. But analyzing the cost of it just keeps you more rooted to your goals because you're able to track your milestones, you're able to be persistent as well. So in every industry that you want to get into, whether it's photography, videography, renewable energy, active wear, whatever industry that you want to venture in, understand and be aware of the pros and cons in that industry, the peak season, be aware of the legal documentation that is required. I didn't even know before you trade with renewable energy products, you need a certificate. So those are the things that you get to know as you are doing your research. So know your industry very well. Know it in and out. Don't leave no room for I'll learn it later. If you have the opportunity, learn as much as you can. Attend workshops, attend consultation services that may be available in that particular niche, or even YouTube. Make use of the knowledge that is available, the books as well, just to get well knowledgeable in that field. Last but not the least, which is one of my favorites and one that I've gotten to love, that I really see myself venturing in more often, co-ownership. If you take 100% ownership of your business, it means 100% stress, 100% risk, 100% thinking, and you limit yourself from understanding different perspectives of a business. So if you want or you consider venturing into a business, leverage on collaboration. Do the diligent research on the person you want to work with. What are their values? Your values and their values should be in line, and that will help both of you manage the business very well. I've noticed with collaboration, you also get to co-share creativity, co-share innovation, co-share roles as well. What am I doing? What is the other person doing? Kind of getting to know a little bit more about my attitude towards business. And like I said, one of the favorite aspects I've learned is to really allow myself to work with people. It makes the burden so easy. So 2024 is definitely a year we are getting into more businesses, right? And if you are planning on doing so, I do advise you do it differently. You try to put in more work, you try to do more research. At the end of the day, you will be succeeding because you have a firm foundation. So rather than just jumping on the next ride or business venture, take your time, learn about the industry, take your time, seek help, and also find someone you can co-own the business with. At least from the successful people that I know, you look at the Bill Gates, you look at the Jeff Bezos, you look at the Oprah Winfrey. Most of the businesses they have, they are co-owned. Why? Because they want to leverage on the knowledge of another person. I hope this video was useful, and make sure you stay tuned to more videos like this. And a special shout out to Bell Makeup. You can see the glow, right? Thank you, and make sure you subscribe.